Hello. There are two choices that you always have. One, have high expectations, or settle for mediocrity. Tell me this, where do you find the majority in the world? Are they having high expectations or are they settling for mediocrity? My perspective is that a huge majority in the world is settling for mediocrity. And what I want you to experience in your life is have high expectations. And let me share this with you, that when you have high expectations from you, many things change by default. And what happens when you have high expectations? Let me share some of the thoughts. First one is, whenever you have high expectations from yourself, you tend to stretch. You go beyond your own set limitations. You go beyond your existing patterns and you start giving more, you start delivering more, you start contributing more. You start taking bigger actions, isn't it? So this is what is the first thing that happens, that you start building your mental muscle over a period of time by having high expectations. And simple principle of life is, whatever you tend to continue to expect over a period of time, your life takes you towards that. Second important thing that happens is when you have high expectations is that you start living up to your potentials. There is a huge potential that may be lying dormant in you, but when you start working with your expectations, that potential starts getting unleashed. Not only that, you start scaling up your potential by learning new things, by acquiring new skills, and so on. Then third important thing that happens, again, this is very interesting, that happens is that you start becoming more resourceful. What I, again, personally tend to believe is that in life, the challenge is not of having resources or not having resources. Challenge is more of being resourceful. There are resources all around. There are resources all around all of us. But the question is, are we able to capitalize on those resources or not? So when you start having high expectations, you start becoming more resourceful and start utilizing the resources which are available to much better utilization, optimum utilization. Next important thing that happens is you face challenges, you face problems in life. And again, there are two sets of people. One set of people who keep focusing on the problem. And by focusing on the problem, you are not really able to solve them. And that is why you tend to settle for mediocrity. But when you have high expectations, you become solution centric. You look for possible ways to solve the problem. You look for creative thinking. You start utilizing your creative juices to solve those problems that you're facing. And being solution centric is what takes you ahead in your life. Next important thing that happens is by having high expectations, you have by default high energy inside you, and your whole conversation, your thought process revolves around how to meet those expectations. And that positive energy is what propels you to take those bigger actions, massive actions, which help you to move ahead. And last thought that I'm sharing is, by having high expectations, you create your own inspiration. You create a vision for yourself as to this is the kind of world that I want to create, and that starts inspiring not only yourself, but many more who are following you, who are looking at you. So the last thought that I'm sharing is, please start having high expectations from yourself, because only then you will be able to live up to them. You will be able to create those results and outcomes that you really want to experience in your life.